So the primary type of osteoporosis you're going to see is going to be in your menopausal, postmenopausal women. And it will happen normally as a guy ages too, but you're not going to have as many guys, but I certainly do have guys come with osteoporosis. But it's not checked in guys hardly at all, so there's probably more guys with osteoporosis than know it, but it's almost continuously checked in women because it's got the highlights. Secondary osteoporosis can be caused by other health issues. Hyperthyroidism, Cushing disease, diabetes, various other problems can be related to cause osteoporosis. So it's not just an endocrine or just an aging process to do with the estrogen. It becomes an inflammatory disease and it can cause problems. Other inflammatory diseases can cause it to be a problem, so it becomes a feedback loop. Certainly drugs can cause problems with it. Tobacco has been shown to increase your probability of osteoporosis, cancers, and of course any kind of malabsorption syndrome, because it really is a bone matrix we're trying to build up here. Also, the acid-base balance in a person becomes really very significant. Just like we'll see with the osteoarthritis, the higher the acid levels in the muscle tissue, the bigger the problem. So we suggest that a person do a diet in low protein, because high protein consumptions are very acidic. A person can still maintain their protein if they have enough leafy green vegetables, enough roughage. So instead of sitting down and eating pieces of steak, you're eating stews with lots of vegetables in it. That would be very useful. There are many other factors that lead to a probability: starting menstruation late, early menopause, not having a child, a large caffeine consumption, alcohol consumption. We've already mentioned the smoking. Again, the osteoblasts lay down the organic matrix. The osteoclast brings it up. It's a dynamic function. So we want to slow down the osteoclast and increase the osteoblasts in this situation. The thyroid hormones and calcitonin, estrogen, and as I've already pointed out, vitamin D3 and some local cytokines are responsible for this process to work. But of all of these things, even though there's all kinds of herbs we can use, the number one major supplement you would give in a perimenopausal, menopausal woman is vitamin D3. Given 4,000 international units of vitamin D3, and you're probably going to prevent most of the issues. You can use various herbs like dong quai to really work with the change of the estrogen, or black cohosh is being used heavily here, and so has red clover isoflavones. Soy isoflavones have been used too, but the ones that we don't use the soy isoflavones that much, we use the red clover isoflavones, dong quai, and black cohosh that had very successful studies showing how it'll slow down the demetabolization of this by being able to work with the steroidal compounds. Contrary to popular opinion, obesity is not a risk factor in bone density. In fact, several studies have said the absolute opposite. And especially when that obesity includes larger busts and larger hips. So again, that kind of Italian figure that a woman would have going into menopause has a much lower chance of getting osteoporosis than you would have with kind of like that Swedish figure, which is very thin. And I'm not trying to be ethnocentric here, I just kind of uses those as archetypes. Obviously, there's Italians that get osteoporosis, and there's obviously Finnish or Scandinavians that don't.
Would that be because of the way that your joints are bearing excess weight continually?
Partly it's the joints, but I think more than anything, it's the time depositing of the estrogens. So certain cultures, when the women get to a certain age, they start ballooning out, and literally it's partly to do with carbohydrates for sure, but an awful lot of it has to do with the way they handle estrogen and time deposit. So it's more the time deposit than anything else, but the weight-bearing exercise is significant too.
So that would be a phenomenon seen more often in women who are continually healthy, not people who had crash dieted, turned 50, and went, well, screw this, I'm getting fat?
Yes. Okay. Yes, absolutely. You're quite right. It doesn't take into consideration the screw this factor. These are people who have actually And it's not really the weight, it's actually the shape in the distribution. So literally, the pear shape where they have more hips is less of a problem than the apple shape where they have a bigger belly. Because it's the hips and the bust where the tiny deposit of the estrogen, therefore being able to help them through that critical stage. And in that critical stage, let's say it's from 45 to 60, when they've worked out another strategy. Again, we can often give vitamin D3 and or some various herbs to be able to help that